Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you to Pulaski County Fiscal Court. As is customary, we like to open our court meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. And today I've asked Major Hancock if he would be so kind as to open us. If everybody please stand.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Major. And before we begin our meeting, we've had one of our longtime friends of the court that probably has been more faithful showing up to fiscal court than anybody in the county that's passed away this week. And I just want to take a moment of silence to remember John Langford and to pray for his family. If we could take a few moments before we open our court meeting, if y'all do that with me, please. Thank you. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. The first item on our agenda is the approval of our minutes from our previous meeting. You've received a copy of those minutes. Would there be any additions or deletions, or what would be the pleasure of the court?
Motion.
Have a motion and a second to accept the minutes as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No old business to conduct, but we do have a few items under new business. First item that's not actually on your agenda there is our Woodstock Community Center. Last month we saw the passing of Claude Acton, another dear friend of the county, and the board there has voted to replace to fill his term with Steve Burton, and it would be a term that would extend through 2024. So I would propose to the court we allow Steve Burton to fill Claude's term.
Second.
Motion by Wheeldon, second by Wilson. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. And next in, we have an appointment to the Western Pulaski Water District. Randall Wilson's term expired, and we want to reappoint. I'd like to reappoint Randall for another 4-year period, if it would please the court. Need a motion to do that.
Motion. Second.
A motion by Turpin, a second by Wilson. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we've got an opportunity to redistrict. Every 10 years when the census comes out, we're required to look at the census report and redistrict our districts here in Pulaski County. And because of COVID last year, the deadline was pushed out, so we're now faced with getting that started. And in order to do that, we appoint a committee that will go out and come up with a redistricting plan, and we'll report back to the court for your approval. So I would like to appoint 4 people to that committee if I could. I'd like to appoint Rick Barker as our committee chairman. He's been through this before at least once, probably twice. I'd like to appoint Rick to do that, and then also Becky Childers from 911, Alex Wilson, and Rod Dick.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Strunk, and a second by Wilson.
Is there a reason why we're putting Alex Wilson in there? Or instead of somebody more experienced?
Well, my reason for that is that he's one of the officers in the Republican Party. He's trying to be involved and basically young blood, up and coming.
Okay, because I know, like you said, Rick Barker, I can understand. Becky, I can understand. I just didn't know.
Well, I like some of this old guard, but sometime or another we're going to have to replace him with the new guard. And I just think Alex is he's here to stay and be a part of it.
I'm just asking.
All right. So any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next, you've been presented with a administrative code. I've gone through that. There was one or two changes we actually made, and then we corrected some typos in the previous edition to the administrative code. So this will be our first reading. And then we will try to come back at the next meeting and have a second reading. But I will need permission to advertise the administrative code in the local newspaper.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Strunk, second by Ranshaw. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, then, we've got a few roads that have been petitioned to be brought into the county. I need to set committees for. First, I've got Wallace Lane. It's in addition to the county road system. It's in the 5th district. I would need 2 volunteers to look at that and report back to the court or to Amber so she can set a hearing.
I will.
Wilson, Will, anybody care to serve on that committee?
You can put me on there, Steve.
Turpin, thank you. And the next one, also in the 5th district, in addition to the county road system, is Lake Ridge Road. Y'all want to do those things while you're at?
What was the name on the first one?
Wallace Lane. Next one then is in the 1st district. It's Christopher Lane. It's in addition to the county road system. 2 volunteers to look at that for us.
I'll look at it.
Strunk, anybody want
I can go.
to go with him? Wilden? Excuse me. All right. And if you all would just get back to Amber and let her know what you're doing there, then she can set up a road hearing from there. All right, moving on then. We've got the jail is not on your agenda, but Rod Dick has informed me that he would like to make a presentation to the court. If you would, Rod.
Judge, thank you, and we didn't mean to disrupt the process here, but maybe, I guess, I had a senior moment, Joan, and didn't get put on the agenda here, but hopefully this will be worth your while. First, I want to say that the jailer had every intention of coming over here this morning, and he had something at the last minute to come up, and he sent me, and I like to come on days like today. You know, I mean, it's good, but with the help of fiscal court and the management that we've tried to do over there over the past couple of years, Joan, we've stand here, or we want to present back to fiscal court a check for $46,915. And I think a few months ago we did the same thing, and hopefully if things keep going, we're going to be continue to do that. So with that, I'll not hold up anything. I know y'all have got a lot of important stuff to think, and who do I need to give this to?
I'll take it for now.
Well, I hate to give it up, but
Well, you know, I'll be giving it up quick enough anyway.
We'd need a motion to receive that into the court.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by
Thank you.
Strunk, second by
Jail, for
Wilson.
everything you do over there.
well, you're more than welcome, and we're glad to do it, and you know, as I say every time I'm here, we try, Martin, to be a good neighbor, and y'all have been a good neighbor with us, and we're gonna try to continue to move things forward there.
Deal. I've got a motion by
y'all.
Strunk and a second by Wilson. All in favor? Any opposed?
If I didn't want it, I mean, I can't keep it.
You know, I was just thinking, Rod, I don't think they've ever not made a motion to accept money. Ever, and that's, I've been here a long time.
Well, hopefully I've been the benefactor of the first one, I did that, they don't.
Thank you, Rod. Next then will be our road department. We've got a road work request. Y'all have got a copy of the road work request. What would be your pleasure?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilden, second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Then we have a request to purchase 3,000 tons of rock.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Wilden. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Next, MB Solid Waste, Danny Masson has a personnel request.
We've got 3 names that we'd like to hire part-time starting on January 12th pending a fiscal. Levi Johnson, John Mounts, and Alex Miller.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ranshaw, and a second by Strunk, to hire Levi Johnson, John Mounts, and Alex Miller for part-time. Any further discussion?
This is just replacing, right?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Danny. Next then, we have Linda Burnett to talk about her 2022 budget and salary cap.
Good morning, Judge, Fiscal Court. Thank you again for another good year. I'll do my best in presenting this the way we've got it out here. It looks like we've had a little an increase in monies, thankfully, and we may have to go back and amend something a little later. We're still not sure about the renovation part, even though we made those adjustments earlier, so we may have to do that a little later. But as it is now, you've got a copy of that, so I would ask the court to approve the budget for 2022.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Strunk, and a second by Wilson. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. I think you told me last year's budget was 18 million.
Year-to-date was 19,450,000, and the total disbursements were 18 million.
And this year's gonna be almost 23. Is there
Yes.
can you explain the increase?
Well, the increase mostly is due to the car sales that we're expecting to continue through this year. And then with the values of the vehicles, probably going up too, or they are going up. But that's projected in this, as well as some of the fees that were increased last year that we didn't actually get on the budget for last year, that we're looking at, that will be included for this time.
And the other question I have, is there anything in your budget that's gonna cause our budget in the county side to increase?
I wouldn't think so. Like I say, we may have to make a few minor adjustments on the bank building if we can ever get that completed.
Just
and
the
hopefully-
excess fees are the only thing from her budget that go in our budget. So that would be the only thing. That's the only part I put in.
So they reimburse us for all fees from the clerk's office, all expenses? For the renovations and all
For
that?
the
they
renovations,
reimburse?
yes.
That's come out of
The only other thing, the only other item that we put in are, benefits
Insurance and
and,
retirement.
insurance, retirement, and FICA match on their salaries, and, like elections, yes. We pay the election commissioners and the materials for the elections.
So we shouldn't have that much of an increase in our new upcoming budget?
Shouldn't, no.
Going
Now,
to
you'll
the-
see an increase in elections because we didn't have elections this year.
Yes,
So,
in 2021, yes. So we're good there?
We have any further discussion?
Linda, I want to applaud you and your office, because I don't think Pulaski counties really understand how we're a region of 10 or 12 counties that come here to purchase vehicles.
Yes.
And because of us, we expanding the drive-through capability, it certainly reflects in the total amount of excess fees turned over to Pulaski County. And I want to say thank you.
Well, you're You're welcome.
It's not
I have to
been
thank my
easy,
staff
has
for
it,
that, and I
Sam?
also thank you all, because without your help in getting this, we wouldn't have it. So we do have to think about our constituents out there, these taxpayers that pay this money. So I'm proud to be able to be the one collecting it and the one handing over any excess fees that my office doesn't accrue, so.
So we do have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Then I would like to ask for the approval of our annual salary cap, as you have that in front of you.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Wilson and a second by Strunk. Have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Linda.
Thank you again.
All right. Next then, we have our Sheriff's Department to present their budget and salary cap.
Thank you, Judge, Fiscal Court. Standing in for Sheriff Speck today, so I'm taking his place. And anytime I do this, he always gives me kind of a script to follow, so I'm gonna try to stay on script a little bit, but I wanna divert a little bit away from that. And actually, thank and commend the men and women that were during this recent snowstorm. My guys were out there on the roads working and stuff like that, but the guys on the road crews that were out there cleaning up everything, I want to commend and thank them. It would be harder for us to do our job if it wasn't for them guys leading the way and helping clean the roads. So I want to personally thank them, not just from me, but from my staff as well. So thank the road crews that were out there and day and night working countless hours doing that. So we appreciate that. All right, first thing I want to do is ask for a motion to accept our first payment for 2021 excess fees. The first one being the amount of $100,000, and then the remaining excess fees will be presented after our accounts are reconciled, which will probably right now is estimated to be about $72,000. So I would like a motion to accept this $100,000 check initially.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Turpin, or Wheeldon, second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Oh, yes, thank you, sir. Yes, we'll take it.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, don't give it to the jail.
Yeah,
The second motion that I would like to ask for is to approve the Sheriff's Office 2022 budget as a whole.
Motion.
Motion by Wheeldon,
Second.
second by Ranshaw. Do we have any further discussion?
I do. I'm gonna pretty much ask you the same questions I asked Linda. What was your budget last year?
Budget last year, from last year was $3,660,500, correct?
So it didn't change much this year?
It only, $3,500 went from that to $3,657,000 in 2022.
And out of your budget, does any of the line items reflect an increase that would happen with our county budget?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Payroll stayed the same and all that?
Not that I'm aware of anything changing.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The third motion that I would ask for would be to approve the maximum salaries for deputies, clerks and clerks for 2022.
Motion to approve salary cap.
Second.
Motion by Strunk and a second by Wilson. Have any further discussion?
Just one quick question. In your budget, you got $1,135,000 on the salary cap here, it's $1,125,000, so there's a $10,000 discrepancy. Should that be, before we vote, should that be the same as the budget?
I don't understand it.
I don't either. I don't either.
Oh, no. This one?
Don't know what, you got, what,
Oh, I got, no?
what is that? You got Clarkson. Yeah.
Do I have one for?
This is going.
On the last page.
Oh.
Yeah, because I don't understand it either.
Ah, not, hang on. 2.4.
You okay then?
Well, here on the physical court line 8, it says $1,135,000. Am I right?
Mark, I can answer that question for you. Just
I'm looking at two different numbers. so
you are.
Evie-
You definitely are. But the difference is that 1,135,000. That is what the fiscal court supplements the sheriff's office, and the 2,423,000.
Okay,
That's their actual salary.
okay.
If you add together the deputy salary, the clerks, and the part-time on the budget, it'll match.
Ah, okay. I'm just want to make sure we're in line with everything.
Thank you,
This-
support staff.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
Hey, every now and again I know something.
I'm sorry, we just received this right before.
I
court,
agree.
so that's
I know.
why I'm asking questions, so.
Do we have any further discussion on the budget? Firm salary caps, right? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have.
All right.
Judge, can I approach and have you sign?
Certainly.
Luckily you asked an easy question, Mark. I knew the answer.
Well, since we just got.
I'm
these
done for the day. Don't
15
ask
minutes-
me any more questions because I probably won't know.
15 minutes,
Since we just got this 15
I
minutes
agree.
before court, so.
Somebody else, that's the clerk, probably.
What was that? Oh, it wasn't me this time around.
All right. Thank you, Major.
I love doing that.
All right, next, under emergency management, we did receive sealed bids for the SRT building this week, and would like to assign a committee to go over the bids. If you would, please, I've got Martin Hatfield, Joan Isaacs, Deco Architects, be on the committee, Chief Doug Baker, my deputy Dan Price, and Magistrate Mike Strunk, if you all would care to serve on that committee to evaluate these
An option?
bids.
Need to
Do we
take
have
a
an
motion to
option?
accept.
You can, okay, I'm sorry, we need a motion to accept the bids for review. Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Strunk, second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Nah.
Any opposed? Okay, and so that committee, is anybody opposed to that committee?
How many bids did we have?
Just two. I think,
Do we not have to open them?
We did, we
Oh.
we advertised them as date and time. Had two bids, both of them come in relatively close, but the issue is, it's double the replacement cost, the bid are double than what we got from our insurance. So
Oh,
we in turn have submitted that paperwork to our insurance company, and so they have to go back through it to see why it's double the
yeah,
cost.
that's a good question.
That's why we would need to review it with the committee.
so,
Okay.
let that committee serve then. Next thing, let's see, we've got request to ask permission to bid some equipment for EMS. You know, we've been working with the city of Somerset on this, this money that we've pledged for shared services, and part of that would be to purchase equipment that qualifies under the ARPA guidelines. So we've got a list of equipment from Chief Eubank, and we just want permission to bid it, and then once we have our bids, we'll sit with the mayor and try to figure out a win-win for our EMS. We want to make sure that they're adequately fit to serve our public, and we're doing all we can to make sure that happens. So if we can get permission to bid equipment.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Wilden, second by Strunk. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Judge, I have another FedEx package here. It's a bid, it's attention SRT bid, Thermo Scientific Portable Analytical Instruments.
Aaron?
Doug? Aaron's not here, but, yeah, Doug's back there.
Hi, Aaron.
Yeah, Doug.
That bid was a bid we bid out, I forget the date on it. I don't really know what it is. There's a bunch of scientific terms. Chief Baker knows a lot more about it. It's piece of equipment that they did lose in the fire. Essentially what that is it tests substances and lets them know what that substance, what they're dealing with.
Guess you need a motion to accept it for review, and
Is that the only bid that?
yeah, there's only one bid, yeah.
We need a motion to accept this bid for review then.
Motion, but I got a question.
Does it meet all the guidelines?
Yeah, that's my question.
Motion by Ranshaw,
That's
does.
scary. Mark and I are thinking a lot.
need a second?
Second.
Second, who's that, Turpin?
Yeah.
All right. Any further discussion?
Yeah, one other question. That comes out of the insurance money, right?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Review it.
I'll put Aaron and Chief and Dan, would you care to look at these bids together? Okay.
Aaron and Doug and Dan.
Yes. What was the name of that bid?
It is,
It's pretty complicated.
it is Thermo Scientific Portable Analytical Instruments. Is the name of the company.
Okay. Good enough. All right. Next then, while you're up there, Aaron, we've got to move to emergency management. We've got a permission to advertise for the SCBA bids.
That'll be Stacy Alcom. I had one other thing for Chief Baker also. He's asked permission to bid out some radio for his comms trucks. That's different types. I think they're Motorola, Kenwood. It's different types of radios. Asked permission to bid those.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ranshaw, second by Wilden. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. So Stacy, you want
Did you
to
not
give
have
us the
personnel?
SCBA bids?
Good morning. I'll ask the court's permission to bid, advertise for bids for self-contained breathing apparatuses for Haynes Knob Fire Department. They're needing 12 units and bottles for those. There'll be spare bottles, which will be 24 bottles altogether.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Ranshaw, second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Then I have one other thing that wasn't on the agenda. It's a service agreement for Pro Air Midwest that we got this morning. They're the ones that goes around and does all of our service work and air samples on the airfield stations. It's at 8 different fire departments. And that's a semi-annual maintenance with 48 air samples per year. And that's a total of $9,440 for a yearly contract.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ranshaw, and second by Turpin. Any further discussion?
Yeah, was this an increase over last year?
Yeah, last year it was $8,320, so it went up a little over $1,000, $1,110 probably.
Yes.
Did we add additional locations or anything, or?
No.
Okay.
COVID.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Did we miss?
Okay, let's see, the 911 we'll take after we finish out our treasurer's report, because we'll need to go into an executive session. This brings us to our treasurer, Joan. You have a few items for the court here.
I do. I have the monthly bill list for the month of January.
Received a copy of that. What would be your pleasure? Motion.
Second.
Motion by Strunk, second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
The next item I have would be the bank reconciliation for the month of December. Halfway through.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Wilson, second by Strunk. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I got one question.
Okey-dokey.
On the American Relief Plan Act.
The ARPA.
Yeah.
Fund 84.
The bank statement shows a distribution of $2,857,000. Is there a way we can get a list every month of what's being spent out of this grant money? So we
I
have,
mean, it should be, is it not on?
You all vote on it before we spend it.
well, it's the, I'd just like to know what we're spending the money on.
Just one
A
second.
separate list of that account of what
You
we're
just want
spending.
that account separate, is
Yeah,
not
that's
with the,
fine.
not with the reports?
I mean, it can be, I just want to see how that money's being distributed.
Well, I mean, other than, I mean, you've got a checklist on it,
Uh-huh. The
and,
only thing I think we've approved separately out of this fund is for the bonuses for the county employees. We've never actually voted on any other expenses for this fund.
well, like, for instance, this month, or for the month of December, the only thing that came out of the ARPA fund would have been the incentive pay, and that's listed, that's all listed.
Okay,
And then also the payment for the admin fees to Compass,
okay.
which you have voted on those also.
We voted on the contract. for
So
that.
that's what has,
I just want to make sure what the,
well, I mean, do you not have a listing? It should be on your check listing, Fund 84.
I got this, when did we get this? We got this right before the meeting. So all
Nope,
I did,
I mean,
all I did was look at the bank statement itself and seen that
okay, I
distribution.
mean, I know you had it long enough to ask me questions on it,
I've just looked at the amounts on the bank statements. I mean, when you get this 15 minutes before the meeting, I just.
well, like I said, you asked me about the bill list, so you
that's-
can
I'm
look
just-
over. Okay, I mean, that's fine.
Maybe we need to get these a little earlier,
You can,
if they're available.
absolutely.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The only other item I have are fund transfers. Martin, you want me to go over those? Okay. The first one is to 911 from the general fund for $300,000. This one looks a little odd. It's to the road fund from the road fund. The reason being on that is we still have an account at another bank because the state cannot get the direct deposits for municipal road aid and others. They cannot figure that out. So it's still going into one account. I'm transferring it to another of $350,000. To road from the general fund of $400,000. General fund to general fund from occupational tax, $300,000. And to general fund from fire, $200,000.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Strunk, second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that concludes our regular agenda. We do have an issue for 911. We need to go into executive session to talk about personnel and also property acquisitions. So we need a motion to do that.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson and a second by Turpin. All in favor? Wilden.
Second was Will.
Oh, was it Wilden? I'm sorry. That math throws me. All in favor?
You're a ventriloquist.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Since there's so many of you, I guess we can convene into our back room for our executive session, and y'all are welcome to stay. We'll be out as soon as we can. You're also welcome to leave. We thank you for coming if you do choose to leave, and we'll resume shortly.
I choose to
Need a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? We'll report that no action was taken in executive session. However, I want to ask the court, after talking with Aaron Ross, Department Head, 911 Director, he had personnel issues there, and he's recommending termination of Jenny Frank for violation of policy. Need a motion and a second to do that.
Motion.
Second.
A motion from Wilson and a second from Strunk. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. And with no further business to conduct, we'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Ranshaw. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. Have a blessed day.
This dark hair, Jenny.